Whew. All right, guys. Well, welcome to another range practice day. So I've got 2 hours today. And the goal is I want to practice on my short game. So recently, which is kind of surprising, is that I've been struggling with my pitching and my nine being accurate. So either shank it or I fat it or thin it, like whatever, you name it. Like it's been horrible. Usually, I'm really, really good with distances and being right on point with my pitching and my nine. Those were my stronger irons, along with my seven. But man, lately, just it's been kicking my ass. So I don't know what it is. And so today, the goal is kind of figure out how to play the pitching wedge and nine again, because everything else is improving and these are getting worse. So I'm wondering if it's just my stance, my setup, my club face. Like, I don't know. But you guys know I'm not a pro. So there it is. First shot. Get out of here, right? Like, I just complained and I get it right on the right on the freaking mark. Get out of here. So for my nine, this is right on. Like 105, 110 carry is like dead center of like what my pitching wedge should do. Now, for some reason, I haven't been able to do that at all when I've been playing for the last couple of weeks. So I fatted it here, but somehow still in the middle. Anyways, how are you guys? Have you guys been playing a lot of Sims? Have you guys been out? If you guys live in nicer weather, I live in Calgary, so definitely don't get golfing weather right now. But I've been playing a lot of Sim. I've been trying to go once a week, and I've been doing a lot more than once a week. I'm at like twice, 3 times a week. Sometimes like, was it not last week, but the week before I did like 8 hours worth of Sim. And it's just been really, really fun. And I've been really improving. So I'm really happy about it. How's your off season going? Let me know. A little too hot. A little too hot. 114 carry. I did want to say though, I'll post up a quick video of my seven when I was practicing alone this one time with my seven, and I had it dialed in. I've never had my seven dialed in this much, but I've noticed that I'm starting to gain 20 to 30 yards depending on the club, just because I'm swinging a lot cleaner. The one thing I still can't do, don't know how to do, is use my hips. So you'll see me, I'm very, very stiff. So give me a break there. But yeah, like it's crazy. So I can't even imagine if I'm able to, get this motion down, like, some of you guys that are scratch golfers or like more experienced, man, I don't even know. I think I could really gain some serious distance and much, much better striking and contact. Okay. A little hot. 120. Shoot, that even went further. See what I mean? This is what I'm saying. Like, if I'm striking it better, if I'm making better contact, I'm just like, I've got like a 20-yard increase with this, and I'm not even really swinging hard. There we go. Fatted it, or well, not really fatted it, but I went underneath of it a little bit more this time. Crazy. All right. So, what are you guys working on this off season? I'm curious. Let me know. I'm really working on my irons. That's obviously, the game. But I found that I'm getting more percentage success. So I'm getting better strikes out of my fours and my fives now. Whereas before it was just like 5% hit ratio or something like that. It's crazy. All right. Let's try to keep it about between 100 and 110, right, guys? Good stuff. Good stuff. So I definitely went under there. I would have definitely put a nice divot if I was on a course. A little too hot. Shit. A little too hot. Oopsies. Lifted my head there, for sure. Ah, yeah. A little too hot. 113. That's my pitching wedge. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do also today is do shorter distance. So obviously you guys know the short game is super important. What I tend to struggle with is anything between, I want to say 45 yards all the way to about 80, 90. I struggle a lot and actually don't know how to use my pitching wedges, like my 52, my 56, and my 60 to fill that gap. So today, that's what we're going to do. All right, let's go. All right, we're going to start with the 52. Today, we're going to learn where my 52 is going to end up along with my 56 and my 60. Okay. So 52 first shot off is about 89 yards carry. Not bad. A little hot. 104. I topped that one. There we go. Okay, so about 80 to 100. Look, that's winning for me. The fact that I can have clean contact. $99. A little too hot. Shit. 96. A little bit more light. Okay. Okay. Okay, back where it should be. Okay, so we're like 80, 85, 90-ish. Trusty 56. If you guys are wondering what I'm using the Tacomo's Skyforgers 001. Speaking of Takomo, they got a new Mark II version of the one-on-ones. And I've only been playing with my Takomo one-on-ones for a season and a half now. And I gotta say, now that I'm getting better with my swing, I really, really like these. I really like them to begin with, not only because of their price point, which I believe at the time for the set was like $498 or something like that. The one thing that I, it's hard, I don't want to knock the brand, but I felt very disappointed about was that the one-on-ones were so accessible. I mean, $500 for a really good quality set of golf clubs makes golf accessible to a lot of people. Now, the Mark IIs are what, $790 something, almost $800, I think. And while it's still cheaper than that's US, by the way, cheaper than a lot of like the big brands like TaylorMade and whatever it is, I just found like it really took the appeal away for Takomo, or from Takomo, should I say. The whole appeal of the one-on-ones was that they were accessible, they were priced right, and they were superb clubs. And so, you know, for somebody like me who ends up going to Japan, for example, once a year, because I'm really grateful for it, by the way, you go and you can get JPX 925 forged Mizunos, and you can get them for, I believe I bought the set for Derek. I think it was like 112,000 yen, whatever the conversion rate is. But like that's got to be around like the $700 and $800 mark, US as well. And when you look at that pricing, you're like, wow, like damn, you know, yeah, you'd have to go to Japan to get them, but at the end of the day, like if you have that ability and if you're already going to Japan anyways, why not get Mizuno JPX 925s instead of like say the Mark II Tacoma, right? Like it's a value thing for me. But yeah, either way, I still like really love my Takomos, and I think I'll be hanging on to them for a while. My 925s that I really want, I think are at the end of their life cycle now. So maybe it wouldn't hurt to play with the Tacomos really well this season and then see what comes up next next season and the Mizunos. And then once I, you know, hopefully get the opportunity and privilege to go back to Japan, then I'll maybe pick up a set there. All right, 56. Show me what you got, baby. Ugh, okay. That was a clean hit. Okay. 90. 80 something with this. So I'm not really cracking 90 just quite. Let's find out. Okay, so I think I got my 80 club here. Let's do a couple more. A little hot. Fuck, 90. Oh, good. So I think about 80-ish. It's my 56. That's good. Okay. This drill also I find is really a good confidence booster for me because now I don't have to test out on an actual course on what it does. I know you're probably laughing at me like, dude, that's the whole point of going to Sims or practicing and stuff like that. Yeah, I know, but you know, you're playing like either the sim or whatever it is, and you kind of don't think about that, right? I know it seems stupid, but yeah, I'm also learning how to practice properly. Shit, little under. Speaking of Japan, guess who is going golfing in Japan in April? I am so looking forward to it. But I also feel like Japanese courses are tough. But we'll see. I won't have my clubs. I won't have the feel for them. So hopefully I'll practice enough that I'll be good to go. Yeah, okay. So it's my 80 club. Shank. Still 72-ish. Whatever. All right. Good shot. 75 on. Okay. 80-yard carry. 56. Okay. So we got the 60. What do you guys think? Between 60 to 70 yards, maybe? $70 yards. $70. Okay. So 70. $73. Nice and straight, baby. 67. Shit, hooked it. Much cleaner. 67 carry. Fatted it there. That's okay. 57. Okay. All right. One more. If I choke down, I wonder how much of it's gonna change. Choking down, still 71. Clearly, I don't know how to regulate my power, right? Oh, shit, shanked. Scald it. 66. Okay, one more. Come on. Jeez. Cleaner. 70 yards on the nose. So normally, carry on my 9 is about 120. Chunked it. About 106 carry. A little hot. I'm not really swinging super hard. What the fuck? 141? Come on. Hooked it again. Some bitch. There we go. What it should be. What am I at? 112? Okay. Fatted it. Chunky. Much better contact. 121. Where it should be. Yeah. The little hot. 131. Hooked, motherfucker. 124. That's okay. 125. So 120 to 125 carry. If I'm hitting proper. Clean hit. Okay, 125. All right, I'm somewhat happy with that. 8's got to be about 135 to 145. $144, 143.6. Chunky. Oopsie daisies. 132. Good hit. A little hot. 144. Same spot. 142, 141.7. 140. Okay, 134.7. That's what happens when I keep my head down properly. Oh no, 150. Okay, that's the 8. Well, I'll take a breather. We're on the 7. Yep, so 7. Yeah, so how's it been on the mental health front? Definitely some peaks and valleys for sure. The last week hasn't been bad, but the week prior to that and the week prior to that were a little rough. I ended up moving up one of my therapy sessions up by a week just so I could chat and kind of dump and talk through things. This was the first time that I reluctantly decided to talk about my family for the first time and the things that I was going through. Now, I want to preface that I'm one of those lucky kids that never had, nasty abuse or anything of that sort. But there are things that are toxic, within specifically an Asian family, right? That I have to work through now, that I've had to work through for, the past, since I was 18, basically, and gain my autonomy and then, stop believing in things that we're being told, basically. Anyways, I won't dive into it, but it's been good. There was something that was really, it's not life-changing, but it was an eye-opener for me in recent week and change. I was watching TikTok and doom scrolling, and there was a gal, I don't know whether she's a doctor, PhD, or whatever it is, and she talked about quantum physics. And one of my passions is like, I love learning about that kind of stuff. It really tickles my mind. And she was talking about how there was an experiment that, how do I put it? Like, I'm not very smart. So basically, it was light. So light is debated whether it's a particle, whether it's a, how am I forgetting physics 101 here? it's one of two phases basically. And it only becomes that state when it is being observed. And she tied it back to how we um, observe ourselves and our subconsciousness and what we see. Part of it is tied to the red car theory, right? If you guys don't know what the red car theory is, it's like if you think about a red car, then all you're going to see in the next little while is red cars. And so it's kind of like manifestation slash observing the positive as opposed to the negative. So if you observe the negative more often, that's what you'll notice more, and that's what you'll see more of, and that's what that's what is going to materialize more essentially. And if you do the opposite, which is like really looking at the positive, and you know, that's what you're going to see is really the positive that comes out and whatnot. And behind that, there was actually another TikTok that I watched, and this girl had a 24-hour challenge. She's like, the next 24 hours, I want you to challenge the universe to really hint to you that it wants to help you out. And what you should do in the next 24 hours is find 10 little things. It doesn't have to be huge, 10 little things that give you those little hints. Because sometimes we're so preoccupied with the neg or whatever bullshit that's surrounding our lives that we just don't see the positive that the universe is trying to um, push our way. And when you don't notice it, it doesn't be it's immaterial, right? Just like it goes back to that other video where you're only observing what you're observing, right? And I tried that for 24 hours. So I took on the challenge of trying to name 10 little things that the universe was really trying to help me out with. And I found it to be fruitful. I know it sounds awful and cheesy and weird and whatever else, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I vocalized it. I was like, oh, okay, so the universe did this for me today. The universe did that for me, whatever. Like today, for example, I'm very grateful that yes, while I'm unemployed still and looking for a job, I have the privilege to come here, to be able to afford to come here and play at this amazing sim and have a really good, owner who takes care of his facility and uses Kirkland balls, for example, because that's what I shoot with instead of like the shitty range ball that most people use, for example, right? That I have a really nice set of golf clubs to play with and I don't have hand-me-downs, like, all of these things. And so like, I just really enjoy that. And it's definitely lifted my spirits up for the last little bit. I think you guys should try it. And there's, I think, some truth to it, you do materialize what you observe more. So anyways, I talked a lot. I always talk a lot. I don't know what you guys watch my channel for. All right, sevens. What do you guys think? I'm figuring 155 to 160. Actually, change my body positioning here. Close. Shit. Grip slipped. Grip slipped. Hooked again. But 158.9. $165. It's good contact. Pulled a bit. 162.8. $152.7. Shit, hooked it. Dang. There we go. Nice and clean. On the nose. 156, 7. Ugh, 150, 166. A little hot. A little hot there. Whoops. 185. $166. Good contact. I'm happy with that one. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to shape those shots like that. It's pure luck. 159. Okay. Okay. 162. So yeah, 155, 165-ish. Okay. So 6 down is where I struggle. From a contact perspective and distance, because it's basically, it could be like 30 yards, it could be 200. The other day I hit this 6 and I was like 220 or some crap. Like absolutely wild. It wasn't even like downhill. I was like no grading. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine. This is where I struggle with like body positioning and everything else. Hook. 187. $195. Makes no sense. But okay. Oh, see? Shank. $145. Like, I mean, it's great, but like, okay, I guess. Yeah. 160. Okay, grief. 175? What? What? 190? That makes no sense. 177. I think this is like a 170 to like a 190-ish, like 180 typically. I'm getting tired, kids. Okay, so my 5 should be a 190 carry, but Like I said, I struggle big time with these clubs, with the longer ones. $190. Same spot. Hit the ground first by far. There you go. What is that? 190? 192. I will take that. Shit. Hooking it though. Hooking it. Okay. I hit the ground first. Shit. Shanked it. It's always a slight hook, even when I hit it good. Still a slight hook. A little bit better. 194. $199. Shit. 188. There we go. One good hit, you guys. Whatever. I'll take it. That's a 5. Okay. The dreaded 4. This should be a 205. Or in this case, 118. Hook again. Chunked. $195. Nope. Nope. Okay, I want to take a break. $200. Damn. Shit. Chunked it. Shit. That didn't work either. Topped it. I changed my body positioning there, hoping that it would work. Nope. was probably the best hit I had with it. Still not a 205 carry. Thank God, come on, let's go. Okay, I think it's my chicken wing. Yeah, I might not get the distance, but much more consistent if I don't chicken wing. Buck, buck, this arm. Okay, driver time. Let's do driver. 250 is where I want to be, ideally, like consistent. Okay. Oops. I was lazy there. Oh, nope. Bad slice. There we go. Much cleaner. Whoopsie daisies. Head up. That was really lazy. Shit. Slicey. Yeah, when I get lazy, my chicken wing comes out. That's why I get inconsistency with the driver. I just know it. Like I felt that right away. Well, at least I'm consistent there, right? Terrible. Yeah. So I'm going to top out kids. Oh man. Second best one of the day. Skied it. $262 carry. Haven't done that in a while. Okay, that's enough. I'm exhausted. Running out of batteries. Anyways, guys, this is it. Calling it quits after an hour and a half. I'm tired. I'm gonna do some pitching exercise, but that's about it. See ya.